So you may have wondered why your combos of trampletoes with some kind of walls and some hard-hitting abilities doesn't do any damage. The TLDR is that the overkill damage from these boots, this line, overkill damage, 30% overkill damage to enemy within 2 meters. This overkill damage is scaled with any sandwich damage you can get, or any damage that is the same type as your main hard hitting skill. So for examples, these gain generic damage as extra damage, and if you use like for example comet, the increased cold damage will also work. And the two very powerful notables that use in the combos of trampletoes and hammer of the gods right now are the increased damage per chance block, this one, and the lazy one, that is this one. These two will also work on the overkill damage. And if you scale this damage to be like more over the 100% of the overkill damage, the overkill damage will like propagate to all of the walls, and it will increase by each time it's hit something. The overkill hits something like new, and it will be more than the one before, and it will be a lot of damage if you scale this overkill damage. And by scaling this overkill damage, you will also scale your main hard hitting skill. So it will be like double dips or like multiple dips onto the scaling, and it will have a lot of a lot of damage if you scale this damage correctly. So remember to use the kinds of modifiers. The gain us in this area, or the gain increase damage, like enrich damage here. The modifier that doesn't work are the one that's are specific to spell or attack, because remember the overkill damage is not a spell or not an attack, so these modifiers will only works for the commets and not the overkill damage. And in the followings, I will try to show you the testing that I do to prove that this overkill damage scale more than just the main skill damage and also the overkill damage. So in this footage, I tested the gain as damage with the comet that is now linked with elemental focus and control extraction. That means the damage is like to reduce the damage to a good range. So we can see that the damage right now is around 4,000. So it will be dealings like around from 3.5 to 5.2 k damage. And the frost wall is linked with icicles that to reduce the health and the brutalities. Though that the walls will not do any will not do any damage. The damage will only come from the comet. And now you can see that the damage is correct. So on the toon tip is correct, as the comet will deal around like 4.5 4.8 k damage like that. And if I add some walls, the damage will like sometime go to the range of 6k 7k. So the gain is around like 1.8, and it's not it does not double the damage. We'll see that the gain is very minimal without any scaling of the overkill. You see that? Yeah, you can test this for yourself as well. So yeah, so this is the damage without any gain as modifier. Now when I add the two modifiers that I have shown before, the damage of the comet will now be doubles. The combined gain as is now 100%. So the average damage of the comet is like 8k, and you can see that is like that here. Yeah. So if you hit this is with the energy shield. Yeah, this is 8k. That is 9k. Yeah, because of the range of the comets, that is also 10k. Yeah. So that hits is more because the Mopia is heavy stun. But now if I add some walls, you can see that the damage is more than doubles. more than doubles of the original damage. That is it very hard because I have the notables on the Titans that deal more damage to heavy stun enemies. You see that is it hits for always hits for like 27k. That is more than doubles of the original combat damage. And if the overkill damage is not scaled with some gain as, this damage is not possible. So, and you can also see that the mobs is also like ignited and chill. That means the overkill damage will deal some cold and fire damage because my comet is linked with elemental focus. It will never deal any elemental elements to the mob. The elemental elements all come from this shock here, all come from the overkill damage. And you can see that the more you scale the gain as and the increase of the overkill damage, the more damage you will reduce. And this is how some of the builds like one shot the critical bots because the more damage you scale the overkill, it will propagates to the walls, and it will deal a lot of damage if you have a lot of walls and a lot of it's just very strong right now. And yeah, that is the one reminder for you to use some good scaling with these trampletoes. One another scaling factor that I'm still not sure about, but like 99% sure, is that this overkill damage can crit. So normally the overkill damage, like explosion damage in Exile 1, cannot crit. It will have a base critical chance of 0%. However, you can get some critical damage onto the mob with the Eye of Winter or any source of critical weakness. When you add this to the mob like this, you can see the number on top. Yeah, it will go to 10, and yeah, so the walls can also quit like that with a base of 10 if you get enough critical weakness onto the mob. And if that is the case, and you can also increase the damage of the overkill with some generic increased critical chance, like increase critical chance like this, the nodes. Remember that the nodes that are specific to spell, like these nodes, critical chance for spell, will not work for the overkill damage. And also like some scaling, like for example Archmage is also specific to spell, and it will also not work for the overkill damage. However, yeah, the way to scale these overkill is very limited right now. You see that there is only like a handful of nodes and modifiers that have like gain as or generic damage like that, but they will be uh, yeah, but they will scale. But the more you scale the overkill damage, the more like overall damage you will do onto the boss on after you like overkill one walls, and then the damage will propagate to the wall. Yeah, so that is why like uh, the builds with the Titan Trampletoe Titan is very strong right now because remember of the generic like melee doesn't work, but like these two nodes for the shield and like the physical damage will always work for yeah, like this physical damage work for the overkill damage, and that is how to get like more damage onto the trample toe setup, and that is why maybe you doesn't do enough damage as you thought it would be when you try the boost onto your card on crit setups or your hammer of the god setup. And yeah, so remember the damage here is very like iffy, and it will be changed maybe in later patch of Parasite 2, but the coding I think is a residue from Parasite 1 for explosion. That is yeah, very strong right now. So yeah, see you in another test, I think.